Hey guys, here's the video for the mid-chapter checkpoint for chapter 10. The first thing you're going to be seeing on this one is a little bit of vocabulary review, talking about different units of measurement. We can either measure capacity, which is how much something holds. We can measure length, which is how long something is, or we can measure weight, which is how heavy something is. And so that's what we're going to be looking at. Oops, let's see. Here we go. That's what we're going to be looking at down here, is looking at those different units of measure. So the first one I'll help you with here on number 5 is we're converting miles to yards. So in order to figure out how many yards are in 1 mile so I can convert here, I have to know, am I measuring length, capacity, or weight? Okay, I know that miles and yards both measure how long something is, so we're going to be looking at our measurements for length. Go back into your math notebook where we took our notes, find those conversions that we wrote down, and that's what's going to help you with your conversions today. There's also another question that we have to ask ourselves before we can start converting, and that is, are we going from a big unit to a small unit, or a small unit to a big unit? Because depending on which way we're going is going to tell us which operation to use, multiplication or division. So, looking at these two, miles and yards, I know that miles are a lot bigger than yards. So whenever I'm going from big to small, I have to multiply, because there's going to be a lot more small units than big ones. Okay, so I'm going to be multiplying, and now I have to look at the smaller unit, which is yards, to know how many base number, to know what the base number is to multiply by. So I'm going to show you my chart here. I don't know how well you'll be able to read it. This is where we're at in my notebook here. I need a conversion from miles to yards, which I see right here. And it says there are 1,760 yards in 1 mile, and we have 5 of those. So I'm going to take this times 1,760. Okay? And they give you plenty of room. Go ahead and just work underneath each of these problems, so that you don't have to get another piece of paper unless you really have to. Okay, so I'm going to just put my 5 down here, and we're going to multiply. 5 times 0 is 0. 5 times 6 is 30. Carry up your 3. 5 times 7 is 35, plus 3 more. 38. Carry your 3 again. 5 times 1 is 5, plus 3 is 8. So there's 8,800 yards in 5 miles. Okay? So on each of these, you have to figure out which unit you're looking at. Are you looking at length, weight, or capacity? And then you'll have to find those conversions in your notebook so that you can look at how many the base number is for the smaller unit. And then you can go ahead and either multiply or divide depending on if you're going from big to small or small to big. Okay, same thing that we've been doing, but now it's mixed units. It's not just weight, it's not just length, they're all mixed together. Careful about number 7, because you're going to have a whole number and then you're going to have a remainder. Remember, whenever you have a mixed measure like this, that means when you do your multiplication or division that you'll have a leftover of some kind. So wherever you get a leftover, that's what goes here. Okay, let's look down a little bit. Let's look at number 9. They ask us to compare these using less than, greater than, or equal to. And to do that, I have to make these the same unit, right? In one of the previous videos, I talked about being able to compare apples and oranges. Well, you can't do that because they're not the same thing. So here, we have to make these the same unit in order to compare them. Okay, and you can go either way you want. Like I said, usually like to go big to small. So between fluid ounces and cups, think kingdom of gallon here, which one is the bigger unit? That would be cups. So I'm going to start with my 13 cups equals how many fluid ounces? Okay, if I'm going big to small, I know I'm going to have a lot more smalls, so I know I'll be multiplying by something. Now we have to know what the base number is for our smaller unit. How many fluid ounces fit in 1 cup? So I'm going to go back to my notebook, find where we talked about cups and fluid ounces, and I see that there's 8 fluid ounces in 1 cup, so 13 times 8 is what we're going to be doing. 8 and 3 make 24, carry the 2, 8 and 1 make 8, plus 2 is 10, so there's 104 fluid ounces in 13 cups. That means over here, 13 cups equals 104 fluid ounces. Now I can compare these, fluid ounces and fluid ounces. Got 96 over here, 104 over here, so which symbol are we going to be putting in the circle there? We'll drop a less than in there. 96 fluid ounces is less than 13 cups, which is the same as 104 fluid ounces. Okay, so do the same thing on these ones. What are you measuring? And then change one to match the other. You have to make them both the same, like we did over here, fluid ounces and fluid ounces. Okay, cross out number 12, go on to the back. Whoops. Okay, let's see. I think 13 and 14 you can do on your own. Let's look at number 15. Milton purchases a 5-gallon aquarium for his bedroom. To fill the aquarium with water, he uses a container with a capacity of 1 quart. So he's filling up his fish tank with 1 quart at a time. How many times will Milton fill and empty the container before the aquarium is full? Now, for this story problem here, I would like you to write a sentence over here so that you know what you're solving for. We only really know one number, which is this one right here, 5 gallons. And if we're using a 1 quart container to fill up the 5 gallons, I have to know how many times I need to do that in order to fill the tank all the way up, right? So that means I'm going to be looking at 5 gallons equals how many quarts? Remember, be careful not to put PT here. Pints is a different unit. Okay, so now all you have to do is solve. Just write yourself a little equation over there, and then you can solve it just like you would do for this one and these ones up here. Because we just made this look like that, which we know how to do. Cross out number 16, and then you can try 17 as well. Okay, careful because some of them ask you for mixed measures here. What is the length in feet and inches? That means it'll be so many feet, so many inches. Okay, so that means you'll have a leftover something, and that's the inches that are left over. Okay, good luck on your mid-chapter checkpoint, and I'll see you in the next video.